Good evening, President, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Welcome to the 203rd meeting of the ICG Toastmasters Club. I'm Stuti Gaitonde, and today's meeting is going to have us all feeling very patriotic. I'd like to begin by reading the mission statement of our club. The mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. I would also like to mention the ground rules that we will be following for today's meeting. Kindly ensure that your cell phones are switched off. In case you've logged in through your cell phone, do ensure that it is on silent mode. Kindly mute yourself once you finish speaking. Please ensure you are in an area with less noise and less disturbance and one with good internet connection. If you do suddenly find yourself logged out during the course of the meeting, please do rejoin. And finally, please do keep your cameras on because your reactions motivate our speakers. Now, it's time for my favorite segment, the fact of the day. Did you know chess was invented in India? Chess developed out of Chaturanga, which was an ancient board game developed around the 6th century. With this, we are now ready to begin. Sit back and relax as I now hand over to the very energetic and super sweet president of our club, Toastmaster Sertorio. When I asked Toastmaster Sertorio what his fondest memory of Independence Day was, he said it was when he acted in the Jallianwala Bagh play in his school. It has been his only acting experience so far. And do you know what role he played? He was a part of the crowd that was being beaten up. Over to you, Toastmaster Sertorio.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Stuti. And thanks for revealing some secrets. Yeah, welcome everybody to our 203rd meeting of the ICG Toastmasters Club. For all the guests out there who don't know what Toastmasters is, Toastmasters is a non-profit organization that works on your public speaking skills, your leadership, and your confidence. This meeting is online, so the agenda for the meeting will be put in the chat. Zoom Master, can you put the agenda?
The agenda is up in the chat.
Also, please do fill up a guest form, which is in form of a Google form. So let's go and introduce our guest. So Davina, I think you're next. Can you please unmute and introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Davina Pilgaonkar. I recently started teaching at Chada Mandir. I'm looking forward to improving my speaking skills. And this is my very first Toastmaster meeting. Actually, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Ma'am Monica, she's the one who actually told me about it and got me to attend. Thank you. And that's all about me that you need to know.
Thank you, Davina. Thanks for attending. And please do join our club. Next, we have Amy D'Souza. Can you unmute? Okay, we have a guest, Shilpa.
Hello. Good
Hi,
evening,
Shilpa.
everybody.
Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Shilpa Bandikar. I'm from Margao and I'm an engineer by profession. I wanted to improve my public speaking skills. That's when I got in touch with Runa Menezes, who is a dear childhood friend of mine. So she suggested me to venture out into Toastmasters. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
This is my fourth or fifth meeting.
Thank you, Shilpa. And yeah, you come to the right place to improve your communication skills and do join any club, what you want. Next, I have my good friend Omkar.
Hi,
can you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Omkar Rai. I'm a software engineer in Wipro Technologies. So I was part of YMCA Toastmasters 2 years back. So there I met someone from ICG. I don't remember the name. So he said, he told me that ICG is one of the best clubs and we have the best people, best people around as part of ICG. Since then, I was curious to be part of ICG, but then because of my work and other things, I had to move to Pune. So I could not join the club. Now I've got this opportunity. So I'm looking forward to become part of ICG. And the reason for joining Toastmasters is communication, of course, is the basic motivation. But apart from that, networking is another important factor. In the lockdown, most of us were constrained in our home. We couldn't move out. So our social circle remained constrained to the people we knew. And there were not like more inputs coming from, different in Toastmasters. Basically, you get to meet people from different backgrounds, someone's teacher, someone's professor, engineer, or like a lot of things. So that is another motivation for me to join Toastmasters. So I'm looking forward to have a great time with ICG Toastmasters.
Thank you, Omkar. And the person who told you that ICG is one of the best club is telling the truth. Please don't tell it to anybody else.
Yes, of course.
Okay, the rest of the guests, we love you all, but we have to stick to the agenda. So let's jump straight into the meeting. And now talking about the love, the Toastmaster of the day, this person, I never thought she could be my friend. Everybody else addresses her as ma'am, but for me, she is a total friend. I can call her anytime and speak to her, just like a casual conversation. In terms of India, she is an ideal citizen of India. She has an altruistic attitude in helping others. She is at the epitome of a teaching career, of a speaking career, and everything. But still, she works every day to improve herself. She is just a person, just a perfect citizen of this country. So let me introduce to you the ever energetic, the passionate, the sincere, and the cute Toastmaster Sharmila.
Thank you. Vishwesh, sound?
Is it audible?
No. Is it audible, others?
No, Vishwesh,
No,
just enable
no.
sound.
Enable sound, go back.
Just check, please. Is it audible?
When
stop.
you share, there is an option to share with sound. You have to do that.
Stop sharing, and when you start your share,
Okay.
Share sound.
ये जो देश है तेरा स्वदेश है तेरा तुझे है पुकारा ये वो बंधन है जो कभी टूट नहीं सकता ये जो देश है तेरा स्वदेश है तेरा तुझे है पुकारा
Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. What a sublime song. What heart-rending words. Every time I hear these words, I get goosebumps all over. And the latent sense of patriotism simply rises within me. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. What better way to celebrate our country's independence than to speak on it, enthuse over it, and revel in our freedom of expression and thought at our ICG Club's Toastmasters meeting. Like I said in my invite, freedom means different things to different people. And during this pandemic, the value of freedom has taken new proportions. But suffice it to say that the great work that our freedom fighters did to remove our country from the clutches of the British is something that each one of us must be grateful for. Thus, today's meeting theme is a small gesture from our part to appreciate and be thankful for all that we have. I have, in a very small way, tried to correlate the theme of the meeting with the meeting itself, and in the process, evoke certain distant memories of your history and civics classes, which you might or might not have enjoyed. For the benefit of our guests, to begin with, every Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 sections. The prepared speech section, where some of our members will bring to you some thought-provoking and informative speeches. The second section is the table topic section, where members who don't have roles or speaking slots, as well as guests, will get a chance to speak. And the final section is the general evaluation section, where every aspect of our meeting will be closely scrutinized and evaluated for our betterment, of course. And to hold the whole meeting together, we have 3 role players who have specific roles to play throughout the meeting. To all the speakers and role players, I had asked them just one question. Has the pandemic taken away your sense of freedom by any chance? And you will see what they had to say as each of them comes forward. Our first role player is a grammarian. Here, we must appreciate and remember some of our freedom fighters who, when required, could speak to the British in a very good English and stun them with their eloquence. Let's see how our grammarian, Toastmaster Lloyd, explains his role to us. Toastmaster Lloyd replied to my question and said the pandemic was a boon of sorts to him since he could spend quality time with his family, doing absolutely nothing and enjoying it. Over to you, Toastmaster Lloyd.
Independence of India is a result of the altruism shown by our freedom fighters, many of whom were excellent speakers themselves. One could never forget the speech made by Swami Vivekananda way back in 1893 in Chicago, capturing the attention of everyone. Good evening, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and our dear guest. I am your grammarian, Toastmaster Lloyd. At this pre-independence meet, I would like to welcome you all to the world of a language called English, where everything could be a little more trickier than you think. It's a language where you play at a recital, where else you recite at a play. You have noses that run, but feet that smell. Funny, isn't that? But, along with that complexity of the language, it gives you an excellent opportunity to learn beautiful words. One of which is my word of the day. Altruism, it's a noun which simply means a selfless concern for the well-being of others. An example could be, I joined this political party for altruistic reasons. As a grammarian today, I encourage you to use the word of the day as frequently as you could this evening. I will take note of the use of the word of the day as well as the misuses of the English language. I will also note the use of any outstanding words or quotations used by our speaker. I will be back with my report at the end of today's meeting. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Please don't mute me. It will become a bit of a problem. Thank you, Toastmaster Lloyd. Our second role player is the timer. The timer is like the blue chakra on our flag. This chakra has many meanings to it, but foremost is that it is the wheel of time and symbolizes the 24 hours in a day and its value. Let's listen to our chakra, the timer, Mr. Toastmaster Sartorio, who very sadly said that he was unable to do his Himalayan trick because of this pandemic. He will now explain to us the importance of time in this meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Sartorio.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. The Ashoka Chakra. It sits right in middle of a national flag. It's also called the Dharma Chakra. It is 24 dharmas or traits that you must live to be a perfect person in everyday life. It's also called the wheel of time. And the creators of a national flag knew that time was very important for our country. And so too in Toastmasters. Time is of the essence. So I will be keeping track of time. For today's meeting, I will show 3 slides of green color, yellow color, and red color. And as you can see, I'll be helping my fellow Indian, Postmaster Lloyd, in his job. The word of the day will be displayed on the slide. It is altruism. So please be altruistic in using the word of the day. So the rules for the icebreaker. In 4 minutes, I'll display the green card. In 5 minutes, the yellow card. And in 6 minutes, the red card. After the red card, you have 30 seconds as grace time, after which you will be disqualified. For the prepared speeches, I will display the green card in 5 minutes, the yellow card in 6 minutes, and the red card in 7 minutes. For the table topics, the green card will be displayed at the end of 1 minute. At the end of 1 minute, 30 seconds, you will see the yellow card, and the red card will be displayed at 2 minutes. For the evaluation, the green card will be displayed at 2 minutes, the yellow at 2.5 minutes, the red at 3 minutes. So guys, please be on time. You know who is watching. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sartorio. And the final role player for today is the R counter. Now, the R counter's role is a very odd one, which I couldn't really connect to any history lesson. But I think Toastmaster Monica has managed to. Let's see what she has to say. And of course, Toastmaster Monica said that the pandemic has shown her new ways of enjoying her freedom, and she has no complaints at all. Toastmaster Monica, over to you. You're mute, Monica.
Greetings and salutations, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and esteemed guests. At the stroke of midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. I'm sure all of you must recognize these iconic words said by our altruistic first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, in his historical speech, A Tryst with Destiny. These iconic words, uttered in rather non-iconic fashion by me just now. Imagine if Pandit Nehru had said them in exactly the same manner, would his speech created the same impact? Probably not. This is what filler words do to our speeches. It doesn't matter how strong, how powerful your speech or story is. Filler words dilute the impact a script, a story, a speech can create. So as our counter for today's meeting, I'll be tracking the sounds and the words used as pause fillers and crutch by anyone who speaks during the meeting. I'll present my report at the end. So let us all start our tryst with perfect way to communicate. Jai, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Toastmaster Monica. And that is her debut role for today, her first role as a minor role player, and very well done. Let's now move on to the speeches. And we have our first section, and that is the prepared speech section. To me, this section is like our pre-independence days, and especially the diligent planning that took place in order to finally gain our freedom in a non-violent, peaceful way. In the same way, our speakers have prepared their speeches painstakingly, taking advice from their mentors, studying their pathways, and are now well prepared to demonstrate their knowledge and preparedness. They are all ready to fight the battle. Our first three speakers are all giving their icebreakers, their very first speech. Since all three speakers have the same objectives, only the first evaluator needs to read out the objectives. To the question posed by me, Toastmaster Aman, who is going to be our first icebreaker speaker, said that he did miss going out and meeting his friends, but managed to enjoy his time as much as he could with the friends that he had already. May I now ask Toastmaster Shantanu, Toastmaster Aman's evaluator, to read out his objectives?
Hope I'm audible and visible.
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, TMOD, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. TM Aman, what can I say about him? We've seen him as grammarian as well as our counter. But today, for the very first time, we'll see him his very first speech. And I'm pretty sure he better live up to our very high expectations. Toastmaster Aman is giving his level 1, project 1 icebreaker from his path, innovative planning. The purpose of his project is to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. The title of his speech is Justice to My Name. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shantanu. Like he said, Toastmaster Aman is doing his icebreaker from the innovative planning pathway, and his speech title is Justice to My Name. Justice to My Name, Toastmaster Aman. The stage is all yours.
Am I audible? No lag? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you and see you clearly.
Blackout. That's what every kid got in school when they teased me. Welcome to the mysterious world of a boy who was born on a Monday morning on the 27th of October. Having a thought of a peaceful child, his parents named him Aman, which actually meant peace, but in real, he was no less than war. Now you might be thinking, what led him to be exactly the opposite of his name? Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. That boy whose name was Aman is nobody else but me. When I walked through the corridors of my school, all I heard was, "Hey, shorty, hey, dwarf." And it had reached to such an extent that if anybody complimented me saying that, "Oh my God, you're such a down-to-earth boy," I would have buried that person right there. It was in the 7th standard when I participated in an allocation competition, thinking that I could try and do justice to my name. With a prepared speech and a little confidence, I went to the competition. When it was my turn, I gathered a bit more confidence, walked up the stairs, took my position on the stage, pulled down the mic to my convenience, and just when I was about to start, there was a sound. It was a dwarf. Everybody, including my own teacher, was laughing at me. It made me feel, what wrong was I doing? I failed to recall everything I had to say. I stood there highly strung and traumatized for a whole minute. I put my head down in shame and walked down the stairs. That night was surely a tough one for me. I cried till I got my eyes swollen. Next day morning, when I woke up, I asked myself a question. Had I done justice to my name? The answer was a clear. But did I want to do justice to my name? Yes. I started searching for public speaking classes. It was then when I found out about the YMCA Speakers Club and joined it. It was a place where I walked in with my head down, but left every single time with it a bit higher. After 2 years, I participated in the same allocation competition. This time, with a prepared speech and more confidence, I went to the competition. When it was my turn, I walked up the stage, took my position, pulled down the mic to my comfort, and just when I was about to start, there it was, dwarf. Everybody was laughing at me. But this time, it did not bother me. I gave my speech distinctly. That day, I might have not won the competition, but I surely won all the confidence back. I truly understood what my name actually meant. And henceforth, every kid who teased me did not go home with a broken nose or a blue eye. Since then, there was no stopping. I started taking up challenges, from being the captain of the school cricket team to being the leader of the parade on 26th January. I started seeking for my talents, after which I joined a drama club called as Abhivyakti Panjim. And oh, surprise, 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 guess who got selected as a voice artist in All India Radio amongst many other Goans who wanted to be on air? Yes, yours truly. In our society, we have people who be like, "Oh my God, you're so short." Look at me. I'm so tall and handsome. She's so dark and fat. You think I'm going to marry her? But we require people who could tell us that it is okay to be short. It is okay to be fat. It is okay to be dark, cause it is just okay to be you. I quote, After every storm, the sun shines the brightest. And now, I strongly believe that yes, I have done justice to my name. Aman, over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Can we all stand, please, wherever we are sitting, and give him a rousing round of applause?
Thank you so much.
Everybody, please put yourself on unmute and clap for him.
So much.
Guests and new members, please note every time a speaker gives his or her first speech, we give a standing ovation to show our appreciation and encouragement to the speaker. And we are going to do this for the next two speakers too. Thank you, Toastmaster Aman. Timer, could we have 30 seconds time for members to give the speakers their feedback on the chat box or personally, please? Thank you.
Yes. As Toastmaster of the Day, 30 seconds up.
Yeah, thank you. We have our next icebreaker, who is Toastmaster Aarti. Just a minute. Just give me a second, sorry.
Evaluator Naveen, you're searching for
Yes,
that.
no, I know that. Toastmaster Aarti is giving her icebreaker, and she's taken the persuasive influence pathway. Her speech title is "We Fear Because We Limit." And the question, when I asked her, her reply was that she didn't think that the pandemic took away her sense of freedom. It gave her an opportunity to do beyond what she would have done mechanically otherwise. She has enjoyed spending time with herself, her family, has enhanced her hobbies and her learning skills. And as she says, it's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. And her evaluator is going to be Toastmaster Naveen. Let's have Aarti on screen. Your title is "We Fear Because We Limit." We fear because we limit. Toastmaster Aarti.
Am I audible?
Yes.
ए दिल है मुश्किल जीना यहाँ जरा हटके जरा बचके ये है बम्बई मेरी जान. A very good evening, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Toastmaster Aarti Iyer, and I come from the city of dreams, Mumbai, a city that never sleeps, where people from all across the country come with dreams in their eyes and aspirations that touch the skies. I had a very interesting childhood. I excelled and enjoyed in sports. In fact, when our names were called out on the mic, our friends often asked us, "Hey, what did you people win this time?" We felt like celebrities. The smart purple jersey and the white skirt, wow, we looked amazing. I was unfortunately never overtly brilliant in academics. The trauma of having an intelligent sibling studying in the same school. Oh my God, my brother and me were poles apart when it came to personality. I will never, ever forget that one episode when we had work experience as stitching an apron. Do I really look the type who would sit down patiently and stitch? You got it right. Of course not. On the other hand, my brother was brilliant at it. During one of the frustrated moments when my teacher couldn't handle my stitching anymore, summoned my brother to class. He entered the deafeningly silent class and stood next to the teacher. He didn't realize this was the silence before the storm. And then my teacher threw the bomb. इनसे मिलिए अजय अय्यर, आरती का छोटा भाई, आरती से 6 साल छोटा है, लेकिन इसका स्टिचिंग देखना चाहिए, कितना सुंदर। और ये आरती लड़की होके भी सिर्फ खेल कूद। I wanted to jump into my bag, zip myself up, and trust me, that was officially the worst stares I've ever got from my brother. But then came college, a life so different from school. Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. And as luck may have it, I had the best friends ever. I enjoyed psychology and English, and hence I decided to major in both. I'm not the type to believe in partiality. My set of group friends, we participated actively in various committees, various activities. In fact, we also played a very major role in our college fest. During one of the activities, my friend decided to submit my name for the off the hat competition and decided not to inform me about it. Can you imagine? Off the hat. Sounds pretty cool, right? Don't get fooled. It's the same as our table topics. When my name was called upon, honestly, I didn't know what to do. I froze. But then I felt, what is the point of being prepared for everything? Life doesn't give us a preset agenda, but we handle life pretty well. And this, of course, is just a 3-minute speech. How bad can I get? And hence, I put my thoughts together, mustered my courage, and went up to the stage. I delivered my speech. And guess what? I won the second place. Wow! I felt excellent. A new chapter in my book of life. It really is important to be prepared and to be aware of what life has to offer. But don't get yourself so immersed that you forget to enjoy the small thrills and the small adventures that life has to offer. What really matters is believing in yourself. When the going gets tough, sit down, take a deep breath, calm down. Trust me, life is awesome. Just don't let go of the trust and confidence that you have in yourself. The same boiling water that softens a potato hardens the egg. It's what you are that really matters and not the circumstance. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you. And let's all stand again to give her a standing ovation. truly deserves. Well done. Thank you. Our third icebreaker speaker for today is Toastmaster Gurmeet. And her answer to my question was, she does admit to missing meeting her friends, but she has found immense joy in the little things of life, sitting on the porch, sipping on espresso, and just enjoying the view. Toastmaster Gurmeet's evaluator is Toastmaster Radha Krishnan, and she is doing her icebreaker from the Presentation Mastery Pathway, and her speech title is Freedom from My Shell. Freedom from My Shell, Toastmaster Gurmeet. Over to you.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I visible?
Yes.
The more I run, the more I want to run. No, it's not about marathons. Good evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. This is Gurmeet, and I am here today to give my icebreaker speech. Yes, at last I am here. I spent hours to look for a perfect quote for my speech. And then I came across this quote which says, no need to hurry, no need to sparkle, no need to be someone but oneself. So I decided I won't hurry to give my icebreaker. And whenever I'll give, I'll sparkle. I love horror movies. That eerie feeling of someone watching you, that creepy feeling of someone standing behind you, that hand coming under the bed to grab your leg. But what I don't like is to be in that horror movie in real life. But unfortunately, I was in one few years back when I gave my first public speaking presentation. That same eerie feeling of someone watching you, for real this time. My public speaking fear started that day and has remained till now. I'm a print designer by profession. So whenever I get a new project, I go to Google, I do a lot of search, and then something somewhere inspires me, and then I start working on my project. The same way, giving speech was something new to me. So I went to Google. Trust me, I must have read hundreds of icebreaker speeches, but nothing could relate to my life. So I thought I'll write it myself. I have had a very simple life. I've been born and brought up in a middle-class, typical Punjabi family. Went to school like a good girl and then to college. I did my honors in economics. Only when I got a degree in my hand, I realized I don't want to continue this stream. So I followed my heart and made a career in computers. Being the youngest, I was always pampered by my parents, and I'm still pampered by my husband. I have a darling son, apple of my eye. I'm a shy person by nature. So in a way, my profession has helped me to stay like this. In fact, when I went for my first interview, I wasn't interviewed as such. I was selected by seeing my work. My work speaks for me. And then one fine day, I landed up joining Toastmasters by chance, without any expectations, without any aim. Only after joining Toastmasters, I realized what it has done to me. I have attended almost all the ICG Toastmasters meetings. Today, when I pressed my unmute button, my hands didn't shake. I'm not stammering. It's all thanks to my mentor, Postmaster Sharmila, for introducing me to this club, for having faith in me, and most importantly, for keeping patience with me. My horror movie has now changed into a happy ending movie. All thanks to Toastmasters. Thank you. I now hand over to Toastmaster Sharmila.
And let's start clapping for her. Well done, Toastmaster Gurmeet. And your journey has begun, finally. Timer, can we have 30 seconds to give Toastmaster Gurmeet as well as Toastmaster Aarti the feedback that they truly deserve?
Yeah, so I'll keep 1 minute.
Yes, please.
So, please give.
May I start, Toastmaster Sartorio?
Yes.
Thank you. We now have our final speaker for today, Toastmaster Gayatri. Toastmaster Gayatri said that although she did miss traveling, which is her passion, it has given her the flexibility to unlearn and pause in the rat race. What profound words indeed. Toastmaster Gayatri is doing her level 1, project 2 from Strategic Relationships Pathways. May I ask her evaluator, Toastmaster Ashish, to read out her objectives?
Good evening, my friends. My speaker today, Toastmaster Gayatri, and she is speaking on her level 1 project 2. The purpose of her speech today is to present on any topic, receive a feedback, and apply the feedback to her next speech. And her time is 5 to 7 minutes. She has a topic, confidence is contagious. Over to you, Toastmaster Gayatri.
Toastmaster Gayatri, speech title, Confidence is Contagious. Confidence is contagious, Toastmaster Gayatri.
Gayatri, you are muted.
Confidence is contagious, and so is lack of confidence. Has somebody else's opinion about you ever bothered you of your own capability? Does it happen to you? Friends, to the best of us. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This is a story of an impulsive decision I made mindlessly, but with all my heart. It was the decision to take my brother with me on a 14-day long trip to Meghalaya with 3/4 of my other friends. When I asked my parents, very calm, cool, and composed, they said, "Why not? Take him along." I was shocked. Who are these parents? I didn't have cool parents like this. But to be honest, I was very glad. I was glad that I could take him along. He would be traveling for the first time. I really wanted him to come along and see the living root bridges of Nongria and experience nature in its purest form. A month later, we were all set to leave. We reached Meghalaya, and day one, as excited as ever, we planned to go to Nongriat. Nongriat is the place where the double-decker root bridges are. These are the only kind in this whole world. I was excited. We reached there. And we realized that Nongriat was a trek that was 4,000 steps one way. It had 3 cable bridges to cross, which were hanging over gushing waterfalls and blue lagoons. The journey to get to the final location was just as spectacular as the final location. A fun fact: my brother is 10 years younger to me. He was 10 and I was 20, and we were on a trip together. We reached there and started climbing down. We reached the bridges. I stood and my legs were shivering because the bridge was swinging. I looked up and I saw my brother was already on the other end. He looked back and laughed, but came back and helped us cross the bridges one by one. A little ahead, he fed the biscuits from his bag to a small puppy and made a companion for the rest of his life, for the rest of the journey. We reached there at the final spot, spent an hour in just admiring the nature's creation. And of course, we had to return 4,000 steps once again. It got dark while we were returning. We saw the forest light up with fireflies. That was a visual I'd never imagined I'd ever be able to witness. The next day, our bodies were sore. We couldn't even think of anything, but my brother was excited to go to another waterfall. To be honest, I felt relieved because at least he was fine, as we were dead. Another day, while traveling, the only bus to go to another location got cancelled, and we were stranded for 8 hours on an isolated bus stand. One day, the bus we were traveling by had its tire burst, and we just missed an accident. Many times while we would travel, we would run out of food. We'd not find enough food because Meghalaya isn't as touristy as yet. This trip got difficult at many points, and it constantly kept reminding me of the responsibility I had taken on my shoulder. That was my brother. I'd keep thinking, why did I have to bring him along? I could have just come alone, enjoyed with my friends, and gone back. But no. Here are 2 things I learned which will stay for the rest of my life. Just imagine if my parents were terrified. They panicked and were paranoid by the idea that they were going to send both of us on a trip together. At every point, I would be panicking. I would be terrified of the fact that I had a little child with me throughout. I know I'd not be able to take decisions with a calm mind. Imagine if I told my brother that the swinging bridges were dangerous. He wouldn't have been able to cross it as fearlessly as he did, because I would be instilling insecurity and fear into his mind. You know what? The next time I make decisions, I'm going to be a lot more thoughtful and think of a lot more other possibilities that I didn't do this time. But I've realized another thing, that fear, insecurity is just another form of lack of confidence. And that is contagious. I'm very happy that I took this decision to take him along, because it made me a lot more confident in many different ways. Not just me, it was also him. You know what? It's not that difficult. Try to instill confidence into the people you are surrounded by. Let it grow onto us because that is contagious. Confidence is the most beautiful thing we can possess. It has the power to change our decisions into success stories. Have you made impulsive decisions like this before? Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gayatri. And with that, we finish the first segment of our meeting, the prepared speeches. We now move on to the table topic session. Are we supposed to have a break here or is that later? Are we having a break now? Can we have a break?
Sumit, you are busy today. Sumit, there is a patient of vascular dementia.
Dr. Ashish, you are on.
Dr. Ashish, you're on mute, unmute.
Oh, we muted. Okay.
Okay. Are we taking a quick break to take a photograph?
Yes, we can take. We are on time.
Yeah. Okay. Who's taking it?
Can everybody start their videos, please?
All guests too, please put your videos on.
Awesome. Okay. So on the count of 3 then. Wide smiles. 1, 2, 3. Let's have a few more. Just 1 second. There. Done. Thank you.
Done. Thank you. We now move on to the second segment of our meeting, and that is the table topics session, which I think I could compare to our current pandemic stage. We are so uncertain about what the future holds for us, yet we are willing to take up the challenge of whatever comes across our way and deal with it. Table topics is going to be something of that sort. And this is the fun part. All those of you who've been sitting comfortably in your chairs, you better straighten up. The table topic session is just about to begin. And we have Toastmaster Stuti, who will be in charge to put that fire under your chair. Toastmaster Stuti also says that she misses meeting her friends and hanging out with them. But she says she has learned more skills and has built up on the ones that she already had. So no time wasting over here. Over to you, Toastmaster Stuti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharmila. I'm going to be sharing my screen now. Can I share it? Yeah. Okay.
Toastmaster Radhakrishna, can you please unmute or mute?
Hello.
Hello and welcome. This is Sheet Curry with Stuti, presented by ICG Toastmasters Club and brought to you by Zoom. This is your favorite talk show host, Stuti Gaitonde. And hold on, we are having some technical difficulties. Sorry. Okay, now I'm back. This is your favorite talk show host, Stuti Gaitonde. And today's episode is about to be one very special one. Why? Because today is our much awaited Independence Day special. And what better way to get into it than by talking about all things Indian? Be it by jumping and dancing every time India won a medal at the recent Tokyo Olympics, or by having a very evident bias for the India magic masala flavor of Lay's. I think we can all agree. We Indians always find a way to make our adoration for this country super evident. In today's episode, we're going to be having a very interesting ensemble of the funniest, wittiest, and most intriguing guests we've ever had on the show. So without further ado, let's get right into it. For my first guest, I would like a volunteer, a Toastmasters volunteer from the audience.
Yes, so it's me.
that Toastmaster Akshay?
Yes, yes,
Hi,
I'm the first
Toastmaster Akshay.
Toastmaster.
Welcome on our show.
Yes,
So
it's my pleasure.
Your topic is, first of all, I'd like to congratulate you because guess what? You've just been chosen as the tourism ambassador of India. And mind you, Shah Rukh Khan and Aishwarya Rai were both vying for this position. But instead, you turned out to be our chosen one. So for you, your first campaign, you have to talk about your favorite holiday destination in India. But your target audience for this campaign is going to be senior citizens from foreign countries. So you have to make a video that appeals to them too. Over to you, our latest tourism ambassador. All the best.
Yes, yes, host Stuti. Could you repeat the topic?
Sure. Basically, you have been chosen as our tourism ambassador. So you have to talk about your favorite holiday destination in India in also a way that appeals to senior citizens. So whatever holiday destination you're talking about has to be something that senior citizens can also go to. Got it?
Yes.
Perfect.
I got it.
All the best. Over to you.
Yes. मुमताज तुझे देखा जब ताज महल देखा. Have you heard this song? This is one of the Hindi song, and you know what I'm going to talk about now. I'd like to explain about my favorite holiday destination, and you senior citizens are requested to please accompany with me. Taj Mahal. Yes, what a destination I chosen for you. And this is one of an artistic destination in India, which is located in Agra, Uttar Pradesh. So my fellow members, as you are an international members, so I'd like to brief you about Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal was established by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan because of his memory of his late wife Mumtaz, and that's why he built Taj Mahal because of Mumtaz's memory. And this is one of the best place I'd like to suggest. And please, those who are interested, please do contact me on my personal number. Are you like to go to Taj Mahal? I want your reply, Stuti and other friends.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay. I'm definitely going to book my flight, as I'm sure all our viewers are, soon after Corona is over, and we're going to go straight to Taj Mahal. Now, for my next topic, I would like a volunteer from the guests. Is anybody willing? Don't be shy.
Why don't we take Toastmaster Mansi, who's a Toastmaster but not from our club?
Yes, sure. Toastmaster Mansi.
Okay.
I'm going to share my screen again. So just tell me if you can see it. Okay. So Toastmaster Mansi, guess what? Sanjay Leela Bansali has just appointed you as the script editor for his latest movie. Except this is going to be his first time stepping his toes into a very unfamiliar genre, comedy. I know, right? A Sanjay Leela Bansali film where no one dies or cries. So You have to choose between any of the three movie titles I've shown on the screen over here and pitch your synopsis for the plot for his film. Though the titles are in Hindi, you need to pitch your synopsis in English. Over to you, Toastmaster Mansi. All the best.
Okay. Maybe I'll take the first one. मैं भेल की
Should I
दीवानी
show
हूँ.
the...
Yes.
मैं भेल की दीवानी हूँ. Okay.
Okay. So the movie starts on the note that there is a person who's a complete foodie and who loves to go and eat this item bhel, which is a very popular one. So this man, he keeps going to the stall and eating the bhel there, and that is what it is his favorite. And no, I would like to skip.
Okay.
Who's
Should
the
I, do you want
actor?
to...
You want to cast the actors and actresses, Mansi?
Nancy, imagine yourself feasting on bhel in Pune. Just speak your heart out, darling.
The story would start and end there, that the person keeps going and eating the bhel every day, and the person is really happy and contented with that, and it's really tasty. It is nice and spicy, and the person is really happy. So this is the entire story.
Good try.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi. As a foodie myself, but not too much of an actress, I really hope that you could try and cast me in this movie, please. I'd really like to keep eating bhel. Moving on to our next contestant. Do I have any volunteers?
Yeah, now what about the guests? Divina or...
Yes, Stuti, I would like to volunteer for this one.
Okay, who is this?
Omkar.
Omkar.
Okay, yes, Omkar. So, for your topic, you are the head chef of the highest rated Indian restaurant, and you have been invited to participate in a World Cooking Summit to represent India. Your task is simple. You have to cook a dish that encapsulates India for you. Over to you, head chef Omkar.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So, as Stuti said, I am the head chef of India, and my job is to represent the entire of India in the way by serving basically the guest. So, the way I would take it is I would take up one dish from all the places, all the states across India. So, to start off with, maybe we can have Rasgulla from Bengal. Then, like you said, Sheet Kodi from Goa. And yeah, so this way, like I would have one item from each of the states, and I would also make sure that I select it such that maybe it's not advisable to use a fruit color, but I would use food color so that I can have it in tricolor, like orange, basically a Indian flag, something of that sort. And yeah, apart from that, I would also make special emphasis to select fruits, like each part, like Goa basically is famous for cashew, and similarly Kashmir for apples. I would get fruits from each of the states and try to have something, some sort of something that would represent Indian flag or maybe Ashoka Chakra or something of that sort. So that is the approach I would take. And yeah, so that is all from my end. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Head Chef Omkar. That was truly a very delectable spread. I'm sure Gordon Ramsay himself is going to be super impressed. Now, for my next question, I'm going to be playing an audio clip. And I want you all to guess the song and write the song in the chat box. Don't unmute yourselves, just write the name of the song in the chat box. And the first person that guesses it right, I have a surprise for you. Yes, Toastmaster Padmavati, you've guessed it right first. So, Toastmaster Padmavati, can I have you on our show? Would you like to join as a contestant?
Sure.
Perfect. So now, you are the second best talk show host in the country, because the first best talk show host is obviously me from Sheetkar to Stuti. So, as part of your show, you have the Nightingale of India, Lata Mangeshkar, as a guest star. And as a prank, your producers want you to convince the Nightingale of India, Lata Mangeshkar herself, that lungi dance is the new form of Indian classical music. So your job is to convince Lata Mangeshkar that lungi dance is classical music. Over to you, Toastmaster Padmavati.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stuti, for a wonderful topic. What best can I say, Lata, about this song? This song is when every Indian is forced to dance, the beats, the lyrics, and talk about the way the lungi is flapped around. Nothing can stop you to say that this is the best song of India. And if you are worried that this may not be something of your era, definitely not. Do you know since when lungi has been used in India? For so many decades, it has been the popular attire of India. You are getting this recognition to sing this particular song, and you shouldn't be missing this at all, at any cost. So, Lata Didi, please, if you are getting this chance, take this as an honor and please talk about this attire. So many people have sang about saris, and those have been the popular item song. But guess what? You are getting this particular privilege that you are going to sing this song, which is particularly male item song. Please don't miss this, Lata Didi. Please sing this song. Thank you, Stuti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Padmavati. I don't know about Lata Mangeshkar, but I sure am convinced lungi dance is definitely classical music. For my next question, I already have a volunteer, Toastmaster Shilpa. Toastmaster Shilpa? Yes, Shilpa, sorry. Guess Shilpa, yes. So now, guess what? You have been chosen as a finalist in Miss World 2021.
Oh, wow.
And so you climb onto the stage, your heart is pounding in your chest when the flag of your country flashes before you. You have to talk about the moment that made you the proudest to be an Indian citizen.
Okay, I'm glad to be a part of your show, Chitkadi. Thank you for having me here. I'm asked a question in a Miss World contest. So what is proud to be an Indian? What a statement to say. Each one of us is just our hearts swell up with pride when we think of being an Indian. So I would start by saying the pledge of my country, some 2 lines about it, and then speak about how proud I am to be an Indian. So, and then I would conclude by saying that सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदू सिता हमारा हम गुल गुले हैं उनकी गुल सिता हमारा. So I would be a proud Indian and I would make myself proud in front of everyone also. Thank you.
Thank you, Shilpa. That was a beautiful answer, and I'm pretty sure you're winning Miss World 2021. Do we have time for another question?
Yes, we have 5 more minutes. So
I think
maybe 3 more.
Let's have Divina or Shalaka given a chance.
Yeah, Divina.
And
sorry?
Or maybe a discussion for both of them together.
Anything, I'm up for it.
Okay, fine. So, Toastmaster Davina?
Yes.
Okay. So, in India, we celebrate a variety of festivals. Ganesh Chaturthi, Diwali, Holi, only to name a few. You have to invent a brand new festival that encapsulates India for you. And you also have to give it a title of your own. Over to you, Davina.
All right. Wow. Okay. I would probably give a holiday at around, just recently, I think there was India won gold in Olympics. And I think sports is something that isn't like really given any holiday as such. So we could actually have a holiday in which like India won the Olympics. So like the one day, I'm not sure about the date, but we could have that day that he won the gold to actually celebrate that day. And we could call it the, I don't know, sports day or something like that. I haven't thought of a name, or I can't get a name right now, but something, or it could be anything, it could be cultural day or something like that, where all the other arts, all the other sports are also celebrated. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Davina. And should we go for another?
Last one for Shalaka.
Okay. So, Shalaka, you have been awarded the Nobel Laureate for in academia. And so you have to go and give a talk amongst all the students around the world who age from ages of 6, who are aged between 6 to 10 years of age. So you have to basically talk about your experience as an Indian student, but try to make it as fairy tale-like as possible. Over to you, Shalaka.
Okay, hello again, and a very interesting topic. If I had to speak to students, or I had to speak to people on an international level, it would basically be about putting your parents before God. I am not a very God-fearing person. I believe I am a rationalist. I feel my conversation with God is very private. I don't think I should go somewhere to pray. I can just sit in my place and pray. But I feel the gods that in our life are parents, and everyone should, before joining their hands in front of anything else, should join their hands in front of their parents and be very proud that you had this good upbringing, and you are what you are because of them, and you can face everybody because they instilled values in you. They instilled the culture. They gave you their name, and you can stand in front of everybody because they were standing with you when you couldn't stand by yourself. That's all I would like to share with everyone.
Thank you so much, Shalaka. That was truly a very beautiful answer. And with this, I must say, it's a wrap. This has been one firecracker of an episode. Thank you to all my lovely participants for coming on to my show. And thank you for my audience for never letting my TRPs drop. This has been Sheet Kadi with Stuti, presented by ICG Toastmasters Club and brought to you by Zoom. Catch me in my next episode when I'm hopefully going to be interviewing Tom Holland. Until then, goodbye. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stuti. Timer, are we, or rather Zoom Master, are we doing the voting now?
Yes, we can start the voting.
for both speaker as well as
table topics.
Table topics.
So for the table topics, five speakers have qualified, and Toastmaster Shilpa, if you had spoken for 10 seconds more, you would have won Miss World, but unfortunately, you have not qualified, and the one is to you're 10 minutes short. So rest of them have qualified, and the speakers have qualified too.
So for the polls, I'll first put up the best speaker, and then we'll move to the table topics. All right?
Yes.
Launching poll. Okay. Shall I end the poll?
Yes.
Launching poll for the table topics. Okay.
Are we done?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Stuti. And we now come to the last, and as I would always say, the most crucial part of the meeting, the general evaluation. Comparable to our future, which we need to be prepared for which we need coaching and guidance from our senior members. Only then will we be better equipped to handle our lives and hear our journey in Toastmasters.
Rohit,
And who better to do this than our veteran Toastmaster, DTM Umesh? As I end my role as TMOD now, I'd just like to recite a few lines from Rabindranath Tagore's poem, and I'd like all of you to ruminate over these words. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Thank you. Over to you, DTM Umesh.
Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and the time now comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not wholly or in full measure, but substantially. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the whole world sleeps, we shall awake to life and freedom. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, as Jawaharlal Nehru's words resonate in us in every action that we do, let me tell you, as you go through that speech in 1947, it spoke highly of the responsibility and the altruism that ministers of that time and the assembly of that time had to face towards the people of the country. Today, we are marching towards the 75th year of independence. And believe me, we have a huge responsibility. Almost all of us here today have been born in independent India, but one must realize that we must remember the past, not only for the sacrifices, but for the fact that we must prove towards those people who fought for the country that we have to redeem our pledge. We have to redeem our pledge for those young men and women who fought selflessly for our freedom. The evaluation segment of Toastmasters, for the benefit of guests, is a very important segment, because in this segment, the entire set of speakers are evaluated and the entire meeting is evaluated so that we take back lessons from the meeting. The evaluation segment is divided into 3 sections. The first one is the evaluations by the evaluators for the individual speakers. The second one is the role players will give their reports. And finally, the entire meeting will be evaluated by me. So I'm going to quickly go on to a young Toastmaster who joined Toastmasters this year. And believe me, he is a product of this millennium, a student of the Christ College. I call upon Shantanu to give his evaluation of Aman's speech.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear friends. We've already given Toastmaster Aman a round of applause, as well as a standing ovation. But keeping today's theme in mind, we all need to salute him. Toastmaster Aman, not even for a single second, dumbed down his expressions, keeping us as spectators on our feet, not batting an eyelid and wanting for more. Despite, on the whole, being a speech related to a common issue, such as that of body shaming, Postmaster Aman very slyly included a bunch of sarcastic and witty lines that kept me chuckling every now and then. Toastmaster Aman made excellent use of his space and constantly moved from one area to another. And this was done with superb amounts of confidence and a very important characteristic, a warming smile. Being a drama enthusiast myself, Toastmaster Aman brought about a very famous concept used in many plays, that is, the hero's journey. Right from in the beginning, where he faced various turmoils, such as teasing, name-calling, bullying, and the like. Right until the very end, where he faced all his traumas and came out on top, proving each and every one of them wrong. There was good voice modulation maintained throughout the speech, which was noticed whenever he either changed characters or shifted his mood. Keeping his drama love into mind, whenever he enacted another teacher or another student, he changed his voice or even changed his stance or even used a bunch of props to give us the feel that yes, we all have faced what he has faced. Toastmaster Aman used an extremely beautiful line that after every storm, the sun shines even brighter. And this is something that in the present pandemic is something we can always use. If there could be a recommendation to better his speech, maybe slow down a bit. Your speech has both content and emotions, which we as an audience need time to process. All in all, Toastmaster Aman, you might not have won that elocution, but I can definitely say that you definitely won our hearts. And hopefully, this very speech is something you remember till the end of your life. All the best to you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Shantanu, for your evaluation. For the benefit of the guests, almost all our evaluations are encouraging and motivating. And if you notice Shantanu's evaluation, it definitely motivates the speaker to go ahead in his Toastmaster journey. As I go along this evaluation segment, I'm going to tell you so many things about India and the fact that we have to be proud about what we have achieved. Remember, in 1947, there were close to around 500 princely states and people with different beliefs. It was left to the government at that point of time to bring it all together into a form of states, remove the entire jurisdiction of princes and princely states. Believe me, it was not easy. And we never had Zoom at that point of time to talk to them. It had to be individually negotiated. That is brilliant India at its best. My second evaluator for today is a senior executive, Naveen, who has been at the forefront of our club, the ICG Toastmasters Club, since its inception. A brilliant speaker himself, can I call upon Naveen to give his evaluation of Arati's speech?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear speaker, Arati. Like our Tiranga that is fluttering behind Toastmaster Sartorius as a background, the three things that I admired in your speech, in your brilliant speech today, I would start with. The first one is the stories. You took us through the stories of your life. You started with your school days. You took us to your college days where you added stories, or in your school days, you brought the story about your brilliant or the intelligent brother. And you also added stories from your college days about the off the hat competitions. And so that took us right into your speech, and that hooked us to your speech. The second thing, which I loved, I don't know how many of you noticed, how did she go from a school life to a college life, was through a song. The transitions were brilliant. You used a song to transition from the school to college, and you started your speech with a song. So these are some of the extra things that you've added, or the masalas that you've added to keep us really into your speech. The third thing, and the thing that ran across the speech, was the brilliant usage of facial expressions and your hand gestures. You use poses also to its effect, like you used never ever forget. Words like, and then you use voice modulation also. I'm adding more things, because I know that, because it was like a potpourri. Many things you had in your speech. So if I don't bring it up as an evaluator, I would be doing injustice to my role. You use voice modulation to its effect. You came near to the camera and you said, you lowered your voice and said, deafeningly silent. These are the three colors of our Teranga. You shone bright today. All these things help the speech to stand out. And also you added many quotes, many life usage of good words you have used throughout your speech. A new chapter in my book of life. The same boiling water softens the potato and hardens the egg. Many intelligent usage of language of previous. I'm not being altruistic here. You are a born entertainer. Even if you were given an off the hat, if you had given today an off the hat speech, you would have excelled. Best speeches for future speeches. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Naveen. And Naveen followed the same path, motivating, encouraging, calling Arati a born entertainer. Very good words, Naveen, to encourage our speaker. Going on our trail of independence and after, let me tell you, in the year 1930, the life expectancy of an Indian was 32 years. And when it was last recorded in 2018, our life expectancy of an Indian is 69 years. That speaks of the amount of progress that India has made towards health and well-being. Kudos goes to the entire set of people who formulated policies, the 5-year plans, which made this a reality. Let's be proud of our India, fellow Toastmasters. Let's spread the word around. East or West, we are the best. My third evaluator is an experienced Toastmaster, was with the PWT for several years before he retired, and is a consultant and a proud entrepreneur. May I call upon Radhakrishnan to give his evaluation of Gurmeet's speech.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster, and esteemed guest. My voice is clear? I can be heard?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Yeah. My speaker, Gurmeet's selection of time to give her icebreaker is the most appropriate when we see her speech title, Freedom from My Shell, because she selected this during the week of celebration of freedom of our country that show that she is considered herself one of this nation person. Toastmaster Gurmeet, your speech was excellent as an icebreaker and much more than my expectation. You started the speech confidently with your own statement that the more I run, the more I want to run, which not only arouse the interest of the audience, but also give a positive opinion about yourself. As you start revealing slowly and steadily from your like for horror movies and your speech given 1 year ago, the fears you face really shows that you are and self-aware about yourself. That is one of the best quality. And as you know your strength and weakness, that is one of the best quality which required for any person who want to become an outstanding speaker or to develop his personality. Steadily, you introduce your profession as a print designer and that you are pampered by your parents, you mentioned, and now your husband also is continue to pamper you, which brought some light moment to the audience. As an icebreaker, you're told about the family and your status, and systematically reward yourself, and this give an excellent icebreaker speech. If I give as a technical analysis of about the speech, the clarity of speech was excellent, vocal variety and eye contact got some more scope for improvement, gestures was very good, audience awareness level also was excellent, more than expectation. Audience interest can be get some more scope of improvement by adding some more humor in the speech. That's all I have to say about your speech. Overall, your speech is much more than expected from an icebreaker speaker. All the best for you. Thank you, Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Radhakrishna. I think you definitely used the sandwich method. You praised Gurmeet's speech for all the various methods and the various types of engagement that she did. You also gave a recommendation or two. And finally, you ended saying that you definitely did very well as an icebreaker speech. So kudos to you, Radhakrishna, on your evaluation. Marching on, India.
Thank you.
Marching on, India from 1947 to what we are today in 2021. We are still a democratic nation. We still believe in freedom of speech. We still believe that we can make our governments. And that is what makes India such a great country. My final evaluator today is a doctor and also a person who has taken evaluation very seriously along his Toastmaster journey. Like all doctors do, he's been a very great listener and has been able to convert his listening skills into excellent evaluations. So can I call upon Dr. Ashish to give his evaluation of Gayatri's speech?
Thank you, Toastmaster Umesh, for the introduction. On this today's theme, I would say a saying by Winston Churchill: "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." That's true altruism at the national level, at personal level. As far as my speaker for today, Toastmaster Gayatri, you had a wonderful opening, impulsive decision with all my heart. You use very well constructed statements or phrases, experience nature in the purest form. It aroused interest at the outset, and we were waiting what comes next. Your composition of body was very good, and concluded also very well your speech that it is contagious, and you touched upon various emotions during the speech like compassion, like nature's beauty, especially, and you used two very important, themes in your study in your speech is a personal anecdote you used from your own journey, and you used storytelling. You weaved your own real life experience into a very well formed story that you took the journey from Goa to Meghalaya and back. You used certain very good expressions like gushing waterfalls, blue lagoons. For a moment, I'm sure all of us, but I was definitely, visualizing Meghalaya and the bridge, two bridges that you mentioned about. And I would say you had a wonderful clarity of your speech was very clear and simple and understood well. As far as your vocal variety could have been better, your use of tonal fluctuations have been much better. You have another asset to yourself is that you lose a lot of pauses, and pause gives that space for you to always form your speech very well. But remember, your pauses are getting at places a little longer than needed. Then it gives a distraction. So you need to be aware of that. Use it very well. You have an asset. I say it's your asset. Use it well. Time it well. Your eye contact. You speak through your eyes, Gayatri. Your eye movements, you communicate a lot. Use them well. You use them very well. You can connect to the audience. You take their interest into account. You engage them. That's very nice. Gestures, again, mean a lot when you give a speech. You have your hand movements well formed, but I felt at places, it was a little more. So just work on that. At times you may just restrict yourself. Also, it distracts if it is more. As I said, today I found you another suggestion is that today I found you a little less comfortable with the audience, though you are a very good speaker, and you, as I said, you have the ability of connecting very well, even with your gestures, eye movements. So I would conclude by saying that a dream does not become a reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work, and you have all of it. And so you will go a long way in your journey in Toastmasters and otherwise. All the best.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you so much, Ashish. And I could see the spontaneous words of gratitude from Gayatri as well, which speaks volumes of your evaluation. Like I was saying, the systems that India built, the electoral reforms, the fact that we hold elections on time, and the fact that the transition of power every time has been done successfully, even at trying moments, even when a prime minister was assassinated, even when there was a change of power between different parties, which I found even the United States could not do so in the recent past. Yes, India is shining and shining brightly, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Can I ask the timer now whether all the evaluators have qualified?
Yes, DTM Umesh, all the evaluators have qualified.
Do you think we could take the poll now for the evaluators?
We can take the poll together, which includes the minor role play.
Okay. Thank you so much. Can we take a small quiz, Sartor?
Zoom Master, you'll have to take the Zoom Master poll.
Yes.
Yes,
Can
sure.
we have Vishwesh? I had formulated a small quiz for all of you guys. And the winner, there'll be only one winner, irrespective of the fact that there could be many winners later on. We will pick lots, and I will personally send a gift to that single winner, and Vishwesh will judge that particular winner. So can we have the quiz in the form of a
Yes.
poll? And we want within, just give them 30 seconds to answer the questions. So no Googling, no use of any sort of device to get the answers.
Let's do it. 10 seconds.
All right.
Okay.
Shall
Okay.
we start?
Yes. Let's start. Come on, guys, go for it. Simple questions. Are we through, Vishwesh?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
All right.
You have several participants on for the
Yes.
quiz. Thank you so much, guys. This is a small quiz. I'm sure most of you all would have got it right, but we're going to pick only one winner, and Vishwesh will do the honors of picking that winner amongst the winners. My second segment is an all-important segment because they are all listeners. And I want the ICG Toastmasters Club, with the permission of the president, never to refer to these roles as minor roles. Let me tell you, these people who are doing these roles have to be totally occupied with the entire meeting. So I would like to call it something else. I would ask the ExCom to decide to call these roles really something else because these roles are so important. Let me call upon the grammarian first, Lloyd, a doctor himself, and the fact that he loves public speaking and the fact that he brought on a very good word today. I thought it was initially very difficult, but I saw several speakers use the word today. So can I call upon Dr. Lloyd to do the honors of giving his grammarian's report?
Yes, dear Toastmasters and my dear guest, I'm back as promised with my report as grammarian for this evening. Overall, there were not too many takers for the word of the today. I guess the sheath Cody was a bit more popular today, and I don't blame them. It was simply yum, you guess. We had a few takers, Sir Torio, Monica, DTM Umesh, Naveen, Ashish did use the word of the day. I hope everyone can use it more often in future speeches. But there were some beautiful words and expressions used in today's meeting. Our Toastmaster of the day used the word diligent, which shows a consciousness in one's work and duties. Aman used a beautiful line saying he delivered a speech distinctly, just saying that's very clear to your senses. Aarti used a beautiful comparison how boiling water, can soften a potato but harden an egg, just showing that everyone is unique in its own way. And Gurmeet spoke of a very confident statement, when I'm ready, I will sparkle. So that was sounding very beautiful as well. Stuti used a word called ensemble, very rarely used, but a beautiful use just to show that everything is together, like a group of people performing together. If we look at improvements, I think everyone did very well. I could probably catch a couple of pronunciations, like number one would be the color yellow. Okay, I think the pronunciation goes as yellow, and I thought I heard a L-O there. And the second thing I heard was asked. I could hear it's pronounced as asked. So I think we could work a little on the pronunciations. There was a line which is not incorrect. It was correct in its ways. It was climbing down, which is correct. You can climb down a ladder. But when you're climbing down a hill, I would use a word like descend or descending, which would sound a little better, I guess. Overall, an excellent use of the English language. So I shall just say it was beautiful, and I shall end my report with something that American writer David Rakoff once said. He said, altruism is innate, but not instinctual. Everyone is wired to it, but a switch must be flipped. Jai Hind, over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lloyd. Excellent report. One of the most innovative reports that I've seen over the years. Keep the good work up. We need you as a mentor to many of us, to many of the young Toastmasters, and also the fact that you listen well and you speak so well. You are an asset to our club. Thank you so much. Going on my road of the last 74 years to 75 years, we've had other processes which bring out India to its fore. We are today a highly industrialized nation. People have started industries. Multinationals have started industries in India. And today we are definitely on the road to being a great economy. My second role player for today is our timer, Sartor. And what do I have to say about Sartor? Maybe a reluctant president initially, but within 1 month, he has shown what the role of president entails. So can I call upon Sartor to give his report of the timer?
Well, thank you, DT Unmesh. You always have good praises for me. So thank you again. So today, the wheel, the Ashoka Chakra of time was dot perfect. All the prepared speeches are bang on time. The evaluation, bang on time. One of, right now we are in the Olympics, but one of the speakers just made it on the brink of a second to 4 minutes. Toastmaster Gurmeet, you just qualified by a millisecond. In terms of the whole meeting, in the first section, we are bang on time, the prepared speeches. In the table topics, we are bang on time, but we are running a little late in the third section. So maybe that's something to look at in the future. But this thing happened. So back to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sartor. And we come to our final evaluator, who's doing the role for the first time. She is an educator. She is a teacher at Sharda Mandir. And today, if several guests have come to this meeting, it's entirely because of Monica. So can I have Monica give her report, our counter report?
Thank you, DTM Umesh. Compared to the number of speakers we had today, we had nearly a less volley of speeches, with most of the speakers being conscious about the usage of filler words. But the few filler words which were used were by TM Sartorio, 2 Rs, 1 TM Naveen, 1 R, TM Ashish, 1 R, TM Gurmeet, you went flawless in the beginning, but at the end, you ended up using 1 R. Also, it would be nice if the sentences were reframed so that the usage of word I could be reduced. TM Gayatri delivered another R-less speech, but for a small fumble where she had to say Our guest, Omkar, used 1 R and 2 ums. Padmavati used 2 Rs. Shilpa, 1 R. Divina and Shalaka used few Rs and ums. TM Mansi's frequent use of conjunction and made your speech really taste like bhel, where we want more and more. So it gave us a flavor of bhel. Of course, we should have a big round of applause for some flawless speeches today by TM Aman, TMOD Ma'am Sharmila, TM Stuti, TM Aarti, TM Shantanu, DTM Umesh, TM Radhakrishnan. So a big round of applause for these flawless speeches, and thank you so much. Over to you, DTM Umesh.
Thank you so much, Monica, for the for a report that is so encouraging as well. And the fact that you did bring out the filler words and the R and the arm sounds, because most R counters these days tend to avoid doing this. And I thought you did an excellent job. So please give her a round of applause, being the, she was the role player for the first time. So can I have a round of applause from all of you, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much. I'm quickly going on to my third segment, which is the evaluation of the entire meeting. And believe me, I have a lot of words to say on the entire meeting. I must tell you that we started the Zoom proceedings at 6:30 because we encourage guests, we encourage a lot of networking, we encourage a lot of ExCom members to talk to people, get familiarized with the entire setup. And I thought we started that process a few years ago, and we're doing it pretty well. The Zoom setup is doing excellently well, thanks to the Zoom masters. I believe it's Vishwesh and Tanya and Sartorio as a team. They deserve a round of applause for seeing that the meeting is done so well, though it is an online meeting. Believe me, if the online meeting is so good, you can see what will be the result if it is a meeting live. And we're going to have it soon, fellow Toastmasters and guests, at the ICG. And we'll try to make it a hybrid meeting. We will see that people who cannot connect or who cannot come will be able to watch the proceedings as well. So I'm going to quickly talk about the entire proceedings. Stuti started very well as the Sergeant at Arms, started bang on time at 7 o'clock with the mission of Toastmasters and the fact that she's always a live wire starting a meeting. She's so encouraging. It's nice to see her open a meeting. The president, of course, covered almost all the guests during the interaction prior the meeting and later on during his presidential address. He spoke well about Toastmasters, the fact that Toastmasters 2 is on a path towards its 100th year of starting operations. It started in 1924 in the basement of a YMCA. So I can tell you, we are in the making of history. We are going to be part of history as Toastmasters International will celebrate 2024 as the 100th year of its existence. What do I say of the TMOD? I have promised in the past that I will speak good words of whoever is the TMOD. So I thought she started well with A.R. Rahman's song, which spoke about the greatness of India, the Swadesh that we are, and the fact that she brought it up in this meeting. I'm happy that through the medium of song and dance, we have highlighted our freedom, the movement as such. Believe me, from 1947 till 2021, there's never been a year which never highlighted the fact that patriotism, song and dance and the celebration of our independence has always been there in our music, has always been there in our films. It has always been there in our actors and actresses. That again is why India today is a major hub for films. People abroad, people in Hollywood also appreciate Indian films and the film industry. So thank you very much, TMOD, for bringing on a very good team for the Independence Day. We hope that we as Toastmasters carry the message of a free India, a bright India, and a shining India. My second role player, Stuti, I thought did a very creative job of the entire room, though I would strongly recommend that very simple topics are given to Toastmasters and guests, because it is an opportunity for Toastmasters to come forward and deliver without worrying about the consequences. But Stuti has her own creativity, and I thought she embodies the spirit of a young India. She's not going to give you topics which are very simple and talking only of things that can be easily given. So I thought her session was really creative. I must applaud the efforts of fellow Toastmasters in trying to push Mansi across that 1 minute mark. And I would have struggled to, Mansi, with that sort of a topic. Believe me, sometimes you go blank during a table topic session. It has happened to me as well. But we all devise some sort of tactics to get away with it. I have faced contests where I never understood the topic, but I still could speak for 1 or 2 minutes. It comes with practice and with time. So thank you so much, Stuti, for the creative session that you gave. It spoke volumes of a very vibrant and young India that we are looking forward to. Now, coming to the rest of the session, I thought the entire meeting was well conducted, well planned. We had, I must give a round of applause to Vishwaja for really being behind people to get the agenda through. It's not easy being the VP Ed, and she being a mentee of Gajanan on this front. I feel that Vishwaja is doing an excellent job in ensuring that the meeting is done and conducted as per all the protocols of Toastmaster International. So a huge round of applause to Vishwaja. I am really happy with the way this meeting was conducted. So can we have a round of applause? I'm not hearing applause. I'm not seeing as much appreciation as every Toastmaster meeting would. Now, this is what I wanted to tell you. The applause should be resounding. The applause should be motivating. The applause should make people understand that Toastmasters is a place where you can spend a few hours without worrying about the cricket match that is going on, or whether you have to have dinner after this meeting. So we are on the right track, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I thought the guest participation was excellent in the entire meeting, and I hope some of you guys will join our club and make it stronger than before. And like I said, we need several hands to make India strong, and that's what we are going to do. I wish to remind every Indian here, every Toastmaster here, of John F. Kennedy's words: "Do not ask what the country can do for you, but what you can do for the country." Yes, we are men and women who have been blessed of being born in a free India, of facing freedom at its best. As I walk each day on the road in Donapal, I realize that I'm blessed to be born in a place where I have all the freedom that I have. I do not have to be worried about being stopped for anything. I do not have to be worried about any sort of inequality, either of color, creed, or religion. That is what India is known for, and India should stand by. So like I always said, India is shining. We need to tell people that India is shining, and we have to say to India with love, we are with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, DTM Umesh. And before I start, maybe we can have the polls for the rest of the winners. Yep.
Okay, launching polls now for the rest of the roles.
I'm unable to submit. Is there any issue with the poll?
You have to finish
you
the
have to
entire
answer all the
before you do submit.
Yeah,
there are
enter
3
all
parts,
the
Lloyd.
responses.
Fill up all the responses.
Okay, got it.
There are no shortcuts, Dr. Lloyd.
Summit is at the end.
All right.
Okay, are we done?
Yes.
Okay, wow, what a meeting. We had 3 icebreakers. Vishwaja has done an amazing job. No, it's difficult to get 1 icebreaker, and we have 3 in a single meeting. I would like to call out 2 of our members for the meeting. The first one, Gurmeet. The first thing on my bucket list as a president was to make you speak. And you have done it wonderfully today. I'm really proud of you. And the perfect ad for Toastmasters is not the beautiful Sharmila over there. Of course, a lot of people, are attracted to Toastmasters because of her, but it is because of speakers like you and me who started off not even being able to speak 1 word and are somewhere today. The second member I want to call out is Postmaster Monica. She's a very new Toastmaster, but she has made sure, she has discussed about Toastmasters to her friends. And even the benefits of Toastmasters needs to spread in your friend circle. So that was wonderful, Monica. And you have definitely done your parents big service. And thanks for getting all the guests. So with that, I would like to call on the guests for their reviews. First of all, everybody, please unmute yourself, behave like a true self, and turn on your cameras. Please. Shilpa, DTM,
Yes.
Anil. Yeah. The first guest I would like to go to is Shalaka Prabhu Kaukar. Can you give your feedback to the meeting? How did you enjoy it?
I am just looking at the time and I didn't realize it's already 9. Monica told me that it will get over by 9, and since we start early,
Okay, don't worry about it. No.
Going vessels.
No, it's not. My stomach is making growling noises, but it is not sounding like that.
I think somebody is fighting with the husband.
Okay. And truly a very nice experience. In fact, when I heard Dr. D'Souza speaking, it took me back in memory lane when I was a child. We were growing in, till the age of 7, I grew up in Middle East with my parents settled over, there. And my mama used to always show me these storytelling sessions of a storyteller called J. Callahan. And he had this animated way of talking. And when it wasn't the dramatized animation, it was a really looking forward animation. It didn't look artificial. And it was such a delight looking at Dr. D'Souza. So I'm looking forward to more sessions. It was really entertaining. I didn't realize it's 9 o'clock. It's just that my husband is walking around and I realized, okay, he's hungry. And then my stomach is growling, okay, I am also hungry. But it was nice. I'm looking forward to more. Thanks, Mona. You really got me to a very lovely place. Thank you.
Thank you, Shalaka, for your beautiful feedback. And we would like to see you more at ICG and probably be a new member. Next, we have Babita Agarwal. Babita, your feedback, how did you enjoy the meeting?
I am totally amazed by the meeting. I mean, the way the icebreakers were, I just can't believe that icebreakers were so perfect. I mean, I am intimidated because if somebody tells me to give an icebreaker, it has to be on a gunpoint. I would never confront like that. So I'm really looking forward to learn more, to see how I act and how I'm gonna be in the next Toastmasters, possibly. But I just love the whole meeting.
You must talk to Gurmeet, okay? So you will know what she has been going through and how today she was so flawless in spite of all the nervousness.
Yeah, but the moment she said that she was so shy, I'm like, she's just like me. And if I can give that much, that would be amazing.
Exactly.
Well, Babita, ICG.
Babita, sorry to intervene. Babita, what I want you to do is blindly join Toastmasters. And I'll tell you, within 2 or 3 months, you will deliver a flawless icebreaker
I'm
because you'll have.
fully motivated.
Okay,
Fully
that's
motivated
good.
to join it.
Thank
I'm
you.
calling you up tonight and we'll discuss the rest of it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Babita, I would like to say that ICG because of its mentors. We have amazing mentors, best in India, I must say. We have Umesh, Sharmila, we have Naveen, we have Niru. So when you give your icebreaker, it will be as good as this. That is my guarantee. Okay,
Just
next.
hope so.
Of course. Next, we have Omkar, right? Omkar, can you give your feedback?
Yeah, it was amazing meeting. Like this reminds me of Einstein's theory of relativity. So as you all know, like he said, sitting in a park with a beautiful girl for 2 hours feels like 2 minutes. But if you sit on a hot pen for 2 minutes, it feels like 2 hours. So this particular meeting was like sitting in a park with a beautiful girl. It doesn't even feel like 2 hours. So it was an amazing meeting. And I'm looking forward to be part of this club.
Great.
Sure,
Like, really
Omkar.
wonderful meeting, yeah.
When I spoke to you last, I told you the experience, and we'll be happy to have you as a member.
Yeah, same here.
So welcome to our club. Yeah. Next, we have guest Shilpa. Guest Shilpa. I think
I cannot start the video.
Okay, no issues. Can you give your feedback and?
Okay. It was a very wonderful and a very, very well organized meeting, I thought. And the topic was simply awesome. I'm glad to be a part of the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Shilpa, and good to have you. And hopefully, you should join us very soon.
Yes.
Next, we have from MAPSA, a very accomplished speaker, DTM Anil. DTM Anil, can you give your feedback?
Yes, thank you very much. I enjoyed the meeting. I liked the way it was conducted, very professional, very friendly, and at the same time gave everyone an opportunity to push the envelope and become a better communicator and a better speaker. I hope to attend more meetings because Thursday happens to be a good day for me. So look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
We are definitely happy to see you and hope you attend more of our meetings. Thank you, Toastmaster DTM Anil.
Is Divina still there? Divina,
Yes.
check.
Divina is still there. Divina, I can say that you are a good speaker. You just require some structure. So sorry that you could not complete your time today, but I can see a good speaker in you. Can you give us feedback?
Thank you. Yes, I'll keep it as short and sweet as possible because there's a lot of background noise now that everybody's at home.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I realized at what level I want to be when I heard these speeches that everyone made. It was absolutely amazing. Like, wow. I shouldn't say that I'm speechless because that shouldn't really be my end goal, but it was absolutely mind-blowing, each and every speech. Thank you for, calling me Ma'am Monica, and I'm really looking forward to being part of this again.
Oh, great. Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, our VP membership will be in touch with you. Next, we have Roots. I think your full name is Rutuja. Yeah.
Rutuja.
Rutuja, can you unmute and give your feedback? You can
Hi.
turn on the camera.
So I have a problem with my video actually. So
Okay, no issue.
is it okay if I just?
Yes. Can you give your feedback?
So it's been more than I think 5 years since I sat at a Toastmaster session, and it brought back a lot of memories. And it kind of reminded me of the time I spent my 11th and 12th trying to be a better communicator. And now that I think about it, I really need to get back into that groove. And hearing and watching all these speakers today was really mind-blowing. You all were excellent speakers, and I wish to come to that level someday. And hopefully, I will try and become a part of this Toastmaster. Thank you for having me, Mona ma'am. Thank you for inviting me. It was a really great time.
Thank you, Rutuja, for your feedback. And there's no word try. So you have to come and be a part. So that is when you improve. So we are hoping to see you again.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, we have Rupindra Singh here. Can you unmute, Rupindra? Okay, I think we have a shy guest over here. So, Zoom Master, other awards, can you please show the awards?
Yeah, sure. Just one moment. My screen visible?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, you can go on.
Right. So, best speaker, any guesses?
Don't do guesses, Baba. They were all too good.
Yes, they were all great, but I guess you've Toastmaster. There's a Toastmaster who's not won the elocution, but managed to win the best speaker today.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Aman.
Then we move to best evaluator. Yes, so best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Shantanu. I guess it's the combo of the best speaker and best evaluator together.
Excellent.
Major role players. I think this one was a clear-cut winner. There was no competing with this one. Toastmaster Sharmila.
No. Lot of prizes in the family.
Yes. Best minor role players.
This is a toughie.
Yes.
Grammarian.
Oh, wow.
That was a good guess. Toastmaster Lloyd, this one's for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Now, best table topic speakers, we've got a tie in this one.
Wow.
So this was pretty tough. The first one goes to our guest.
Wow, Shalaka.
So I guess this just becomes an added support to get you on board. And the second one goes to Toastmaster Padmavati.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
Yes. Now, we've got another winner for the quiz. That one goes to Toastmaster Vishwaja.
Wow. Well
Toastmaster
done.
Vishwaja, you got some real good GK. And I don't think it just ends there for her. So she's got another certificate of completion for completing her level 3 of leadership development.
Congratulations.
Yes. Not to forget, the Zoom Master also gets his certificate of completion. So thank you.
Yay, Vishwesh.
Well done, Zoom Master.
Well done,
Yes.
well done.
Thank you.
Okay. So there was another person who completed a education level. That was Toastmaster Radhakrishna. But he will be facilitated next meeting because his certificate is still not come.
Thank you.
Yes. So well done, Radhakrishna.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So that was it for this
Bye.
meeting. And I would like to inform you that our next meeting is on the 21st of this month. It's on a Saturday. And we plan to have an offline meeting. And hopefully we have, we have to sort things out so that all safety procedures are followed and everybody is safe. So that is a major priority. And if the cases rise up, we will be shifting it to an online meeting. And also, we might try to make it a hybrid meeting. So not promising, but we'll try. So that was it for today, everybody. Thank you for joining us at ICG.
Good night.
And see you next time. And be safe. Good night.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank
Night.
you. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night,
Good night,
guys.
guys.
Night.
Good night.